welcome back to the Player's Aid Blitz. My name's Tim.
I'm Grant.
And I'm Alexander.
And today's game we're looking at is Circus Trains by Victory Point Games and designed by Tom Decker. It's kind of a pickup and delivery game, I guess, or contract filling
Contract
game.
fulfillment. Yeah.
But you don't ever lose the things that you're delivering to the circuses. So
which is your talent.
Your talent.
Your
so
workers.
you're moving around the board, you're performing at different cities, using different talents, and keeping those for the rest of the game until somebody wants to steal them. Alexander, what do you think about the game?
I actually surprisingly liked this game. Very unique theme, which was really cool. And I like pick up and deliver games, and this is that without having to lose all the stuff and do it over again every time.
Yeah.
So that was nice. You just build and build your circus, and you go around fulfilling the requirements of what people want, and I thought that was neat. I really like the action selection in this game. You have a deck of 9 cards, and managing those between movement and performing and trying to hire new people, that's a really fun thing to do. Reminds me of games like Race for the Galaxy, and Nations Play that does that too. But the cards are very simple, so it's not too much to kind of get AP every turn deciding what to do. Really enjoy that. I get a kick out of that kind of a mechanic in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I liked was the ramp up of the game, the progression that you feel. You really start out with a couple of talent, a little tiny small circus, but by the end you've got so much talent, and your reputation is going up, and your performance record's going up. So I really felt like there was a good progression from the beginning of the game, not doing much, to the end of the game. I'm able to do a lot.
Huge shows with all
and I get to keep my points from my previous shows. So whatever I do in the previous rounds, I get to keep those and still add to my points later on in the game, which is a really neat addition to a normal just fulfill your contract, get rid of your card.
Yeah, your reputation that you've built from doing all those good performances stays with you.
Yep.
And I actually really like that. I wish more games would do that.
And the distinction between the reputation points and your victory points are your reputation really gets you in position to earn victory points.
Yeah.
So the more you have your reputation growing, you're going to get more money, which can be spent to pay your workers and your talent, but you also get victory points based on who has the best reputation or the highest reputation circus. So that's kind of cool, really a cool mechanic. These games always are well produced. These Victory Point game, deluxe editions, they have their laser die cut counters with the campfire smoky smell. Very crisp, very, very clean, very thick.
That's really good.
You're not going to destroy that. In fact, you could probably use that as a balancer
Under your table?
Under a table or a chair, which is kind of good. Wouldn't recommend that, but
no.
Love the money. Tim mentioned.
Yeah, the money's awesome.
Best money in.
I really like the money. It's
very
small.
Cool.
You can hold it. It's good.
But I love the planning element. So you have to look at the circuses that come out. You have to decide where I'm going to go, what talent I have that matches those circuses. And then you have to plan that out. But I also like the element of, as you progress through the months, there's going to be new circuses and new desires of the populace that come out. And that kind of is an addition to, you may be on your way to a big circus and a bigger one may pop up in the town that you're going to move through. So really like that. I like the planning element, and I don't believe it's, a lot of times we talk about punishing or unforgiving. I don't think this is unforgiving. Because something's going to pop up around you.
And you can only plan so far ahead in this one.
Right.
It was punishing the other night when we played it wrong.
We played it terribly wrong.
We didn't get as much money as
couldn't keep our talent past the first week. Yeah. But we figured it out and got it right.
One of the things that Alexander mentioned about the action cards is you do have to pay your workers. And the best thing about this game is it's an action card. And you choose when you pay your workers.
Yeah.
It's not mandated at the end of the month. It's not mandated at the end of the week. You have a card. You choose when you can play that card and when you pay your workers. I love that about this.
It's very strategic. You really try to plan out, I'm going to hire that elephant, but guess what? I'm going to move there, pay my workers, and then hire the elephant.
Yeah, I'm like, do my very first performance in the game, pay my workers, then I've got 8 turns after that to do whatever and get more guys.
I liked that element of it as well.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Not to say that there's not negatives. So what are some concerns that you had about the game, Alexander?
My big concern with the game was that I don't believe that the game rewarded you enough for going for getting a large variety of talent and getting a lot of like the high end talent. There's a lot of points, especially early in the game, and that also are continual there throughout the game for just having clowns and acrobats, which are like the two smallest.
Just to specialize in a couple of talents.
Yeah, but like specializing in the weak ones.
Right.
Because if you can have the most clowns
Like me.
for every turn or every month for the whole game, that's 30 points right there.
Yeah.
And if you have the most elephants, you have to have at least 2, so that's not going to happen for a long time. And then
You still have to pay them.
The most
it
you
costs
can
the most.
eke out of that is probably 10, 15 points.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, and there's not that huge value from a victory point standpoint, at least for me, for the high end talent that I wish was there, because you put a lot of effort, a lot of money into getting those guys.
Yeah.
They can help your reputation. You get big circus performances out of them, but I got smashed in this game by having lots of clowns and acrobats on the other side of the board.
So to prove your point, your highest prestige circus or whatever they call that was 137.
Yeah.
You were in last place.
Yeah, by like a long way.
Tim's was 102. My high circus was 79.
Yeah.
And I won. That's interesting.
That is
very interesting. I did a lot more little circuses to score and buy a bunch of clowns and scored off those clowns.
But we did the same amount of circuses in the end, basically.
Yeah.
You did one more than me.
Right.
And if somebody that played the game taught it better, they probably would have focused on this is how you actually get victory points.
If you read the rules before you know. You did a great job
I
teaching.
thought so.
Yeah. One concern I had, we'll probably talk about concerns. One concern I had is the location deck. There's about 20 cards in there, 25. You pull those up and you put circuses or talent in the various locations. And, if you're in the East Coast and you've exhausted all your circuses and all of a sudden everything starts coming up in the Midwest or the Western side of the board, you can be stuck for 3, maybe 4 turns trying to get over there. And that, it's randomness, but you got to strategize for that. And you also got to understand that when that deck refreshes, and you're on the East Coast and there's nothing over there, you're going to get a lot of circuses. And that also is a strategy.
But then if you're going to spend all that time getting over there and somebody's going to get those, and then the cities over here on the East Coast are going to start popping up. So is it best to go over there and try and get one, or just to stick around and hopefully another city comes up that's near you? So that is kind of randomized.
And that's both part of the game, but then, you draw those random cities, and then you pull the random tiles for those random cities, and some of those random tiles are not great.
Yeah,
right.
One victory
point. You're like, I needed a big circus.
Or hiring a bunch of elephants and tigers at the beginning of the game. That's not going to help anybody.
It's not going to help.
They don't even come up till the second round, I don't think. So,
right.
But
so one of the concerns that I had was the end game seemed to be a little anticlimactic for me. The end game circuses are usually 2-week circuses, so you have to stay in that city 2 weeks, 2 turns to be able to get the points from it. And so there are 3 or 4 weeks there in September that we literally just sat in the same city, all of us, and just played card after card.
In fact, we all did our 2-week circuses at the same time.
At the same time.
It was pretty interesting.
2 weeks straight, we just did nothing but, I'm staying here and performing, I'm staying here and performing, and I'm living.
And the 3 weeks before that, it was go to Canada and rest.
Right, go to Canada and rest and do that. So that was my biggest concern is, man, the whole game, you're just planning, and then the last month you're just sitting there.
Yeah,
trying to perform a couple of weeks.
And those performances are huge, and
they're huge.
A bunch of points in that, but it's like, you just go, sit there.
Yeah. So that was my biggest concern about it. The end just felt a little bit anticlimactic. So overall, I absolutely love the theme of this game. I'm a sucker for unique themes and unique style games. This one really hits home for me. I mean, the event cards really bring home the theme. We had an event card that was a fat lady needs to eat. So every time you went into a city where there was a freak show, you got it for free because the fat lady, she didn't care about anything, but she just wants a job so that she can eat. So
you're hanging a rack of ribs out of the back of the
that's all you're doing. And so it's really cool.
So I thought this game was really fun, really unique, very interesting. So if you like a different game, and it is a Euro game with a lot of different mechanics and elements, this game definitely, I think you should try it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I love the production value in this game, like it for all the victory point games. And this was surprisingly fun and, again, unique, like it's been said. I really like this game.
Yeah, it can be very douchey, as we like to say.
If you play that way.
If you play it that way, you don't
it
have
can be
to.
very bad.
But it's a solid game. Thanks for joining us. This is another Player's Aid Blitz.